that was given to them during the supplemental appropriation.
Oh, no, so we did get a more money, because the board had approved 45.
Okay.
So we're 45.
Okay. Other than that, already funded, the townwide drainage programs did get $50,000, which was the request, and what we had allocated, so I initially put that here at 0, as well as the vehicle replacement program. They got for town property, they got $26,000, which was their full request. We were only going to give them 20 to make things balance, so I also put a 0 there. So as far as this upper level, the things with blanks in here is what we have left to look at. And I can also make this a bit bigger, if that helps. What's that?
Light
Is that
off?
better?
I'm never gonna see that.
Why not, that might help more.
Take the glare off of
Yeah,
it.
it's all
Put
glare.
the light in the back of the room on, if you just want to have some lights in there.
No, that isn't the glare.
Oh, it's a window.
We don't have shades.
It's our old eyes.
But it should look very much like what you have, short of the blank column. I mean, the rest of it is exactly what you have on your piece of paper. So, bless you.
So you want the light turned back on so you can read your piece of paper?
I did see that. Well, I think it looks better, but.
That's
Everybody see okay? Alright. So, and then down in the second half, PD radio tower, that was paid in full, 97,000, so I made that a 0. The vehicle, the police department computers, vehicle computers, was paid in full, so I set that to 0. Exterior lighting, they actually gave me more, they gave me 50, so that covers the entire request plus a little. The forklift, DPW, yep, I put that in all 20, yep. Cafe tile at the Broadwood School, they gave us $27,500, that's the full amount. South Road Sewer was funded at the full amount. And that's it. The other 3 appropriations that they gave that night were not on this list of insurance. So, where would you guys like to start? Well, I don't know if everybody was in the room when I mentioned this. So this started at the 900-660, and as we put numbers in this column, this will drop, and when it hits 0, we need to be done. Or we need to move things around. So, we start at the top.
Sure.
Police vehicles. What I would suggest is that we kind of go through here and put what we think, see where we end up, and we either end up with not enough money at the end or too much money at the end, and then go back and make adjustments.
Well, that funds them fully.
That will fund them fully, yes. But, just Jack.
Kathy, I love your charts, I really do. There's a lot of work with it. But I tried to sit down today and try to analyze your data. And plus, take a look at, this group recommended $1.5 million. Okay? And if you take that $1.5 million and you break it out, you said there was so much that you gave to the Board of Selectmen. They in turn took a cut of that $1.5 million. All right? And then the Board of Finance had a supplemental appropriation for which they took some of those items that were out there and they had it funded back in May. That leaves items that have not been approved by the Board of Selectmen. And what I tried to do is simplify how we approach that $1.5 million. And instead of going through all the details there, I have a spreadsheet, if you'd like to look at it, that breaks it down and says, hey, this is what you requested. This is what the Board of Finance put through on their town meeting. And then this leaves what the Board of Finance, Board of Selectmen had approved. And that money should obviously be already authorized in order to be spent.
The Board of Selectmen, the numbers they had weren't touched at all. The Board of Finance put through exactly what the Board of Selectmen gave them. There was no changes to what went through to the budget referendums. That
It's,
886 number,
I have to disagree with you with that, okay? This group asked for $1.5 million,
and the Board of Selectmen cut it to 886.
and now there's a difference.
And that same
Okay.
number went through to the Board of Finance at that 886 with all those exact same projects. They didn't make
No.
any changes to projects. The
Well,
only
I'm not
thing they
changing-
did
Let me
was
say,
ask for additional appropriations for things that the Board of Selectmen didn't fund.
if you look at this list, it's pretty clear, because it has what the Board of Selectmen approved, and that's just like you say, $886.90.
And the Board of Finance column
And-
should be identical.
And then, well, yes, I don't think there is a Board of Finance column, because it is identical, but,
One pass those down.
but,
I can't-
and the CIP column here is for 1.5 billion. And actually, I too went through, and everything, what occurred was everything the CIP asked for, and they got fully funded. If you add what the CIP wanted and what the VOS approved and what the supplemental appropriation was, everything in that $1.5 million, or $1,507,000 is funded except $100,000 for roads, and that's it. And you get
No,
$17,000.
$100,000 for the fire truck.
And $100,000.
The dog pound money,
Well, the dog pound money isn't listed in this chart, I don't think. I don't think it was,
no.
Yeah, we did.
I
well,
thought we had
not in
funded
that chart, I'm
20%.
talking about this chart here.
I thought we had funded $20,000.
CIP.
And the 1.5, it should be in
Where's
there.
that? Where's the dog pound?
16.
16 is on property.
Well, I'm
No,
not
he's
looking at
on
the
this
other
sheet with
chart.
the yellow,
So it's
and it's on the town property.
Yeah.
under town property.
Dog pound repairs, 20,000, it's there.
Yeah, I thought we
Okay,
had.
all right.
So there are some things on
Yeah,
there that aren't
well,
funded,
Some things, two things,
but not a lot.
yeah.
Well, that's why I thought, since I think, at the end of the day, when we take out the Board of Finance supplemental appropriation, if we were to just, and I didn't do this, but if we were to just fill in the numbers of where we had been with approvals, and
Should be
part of
pretty
the-
close.
we should be pretty close to that $900,000.
If you look at that sheet that I gave you,
Which I haven't looked at yet.
it takes you $1.5 million that we recommended. Then it took and it shows what the Board of Selectmen approved. Then it leaves some balances. And of those balances, certain amount of money was already, you could, it's the green side, which is like $355,000, which the treasurer can pay and execute the funds. It leaves a balance of $284,000, for which this, they have to go back to the Board of Selectmen to get approval so that it goes, it
Oh,
can be funded.
they're all going back for approval.
Everything has to go back for approval, so I
Pardon?
think. that
Everything's
initial-
going for
yeah,
approval.
That initial approval was to put forth to the budget.
I understand
That
that.
doesn't mean that any of that
But
is
you
a
can-
guaranteed approval this next time around.
This group cannot spend money, all right? It can recommend,
That's what they're doing.
and it goes to the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
That's
And
what we're doing
And that's
tonight.
what it says. It says, if you look at the yellow in there, it says these are the things that are in your, this CIP recommendation that still needs Board of Selectmen approval because they did not approve it on the first go-around.
But
Right,
the
but
green
what
all
I-
need approval too.
But what I'm saying is not,
Pardon?
The
not
green
just
all need
yellow.
approval.
Everything
I'm sorry,
needs approval.
The green all need approval too. We don't have any approval for any project allocations currently. We made a recommendation to Board of Selectmen, they picked a number, but nobody allocated to any projects yet. That's what
But
we're here to
again,
do tonight.
by the fact that they approved it as part of the budget, all right, of that 1.5 million, the Board of Selectmen said, okay on this. That should be enough for you to go forward and expend the funds. They didn't approve a certain group of it, 284,000. All that has to happen is go back to the Board of Selectmen and say, that needs to be approved.
I hear what you're saying, but I think the way the process works, we have to reallocate all 900,000 We can allocate it to the
You
same
don't
things
have
they
nine
did.
hundred thousand to spend.
That's what's in the budget. $900,000
You
is
cannot,
what's in
this
the
group
budget.
cannot allocate anything.
We can allocate
We-
anything, it has to go to the Board of Selectmen.
It's our
Don't you
Let
get
me-
it?
All right, guys, down.
Okay,
don't
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm saying is, we need to reallocate, whether we give it to the same things they did or give it to something different, that's our choice. We do that allocation. Then they get it, and they do whatever they want with it. They can throw out every single project that we recommended funding for, they can do all different projects.
Or you're
That's
saying we
their
change,
call.
you're
The
saying that
whole
this
thing.
board can change the $1.5 million that you recommended?
Yes, because the way this has always worked, one of the pieces of the puzzle at this last meeting is, things change between the time we did this in the fall and now. In the past, we found that some project that we had initially recommended funding for had broken and got done out of emergency funds. So it was no longer something that needed to be funded. So needs change, something else may have come to the top and become like a critical item for the town. So that's what Amy's gonna tell us tonight, is whether anything has broken and been paid for that was not part of the supplemental appropriations, because we know those. Whether there's anything else that no longer needs funding from us, and whether there's anything that has, between Bob and Amy, they can tell us if there's anything that new that we need to think about. So that's the first thing we need to
And the
do.
number is that number that you stated, that's
And then-
what we got.
And then
It's
we
not a wish
need
list
to
now.
allocate
This is it, baby.
$900,000. And then what they do with it is what they do with it. So,
nothing has come off, unfortunately.
okay.
And really, nothing's come on. Obviously, the air conditioner here is a problem, but it's going to be, have to be taken care of now. We can't really go CIP, and it's not a replacement anyhow, so
Right.
it's pretty
All right, so we're really working with the same list. The list hasn't changed.
Unless something changes, it would have ended, I don't know.
No.
Or the fire department truck, that's going for bonding.
Yes, that would be my recommendation at some future date. Right,
Well,
but that's, I think
But
we're going to
that's-
start at the top of the list and
yeah.
just go down.
let's start at the top of the list and work our way down. So let's start with the police department. So the number I have here is the balance between what we recommended and what they got in the supplemental appropriation.
And that gives you.
So are you guys comfortable with leaving that would make them whole for this CIP year? The 2.5 cruisers.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So
Because
is
otherwise
everyone
it
comfortable
bites you
with
next
leaving
time.
this number here for
What's
now?
what's the number that's there? It's $100,900.
It is
Yeah.
this minus the 56,000 that was appropriated.
So that gets you a total of $100,900. If we give you not 44,900 today, you will have 100% of what
That
you
will
asked
be
for.
2.5 cruisers based on the numbers that we got.
2.5,
And then
we went over the numbers on the state bid for the vehicles.
if they can be less, you can pay less. Well, we get you the one.
Well, if it's less, then you would leave money in your account for next year.
Or for outfitting them.
Because theoretically, it should be the same price next
Well,
year.
they did try to include the
By
outfitting
doing it
price
this
in
way.
there. Now, chip sealing roads.
That one we kind of have to do, because that's where most of it's spent.
Yep, so are we all comfortable putting the 75,000 in there?
That's what we did originally, right?
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. Pavement management. We said 500,000.
It's only 400,000 in there.
Board of Selectmen did 400.
Keep it 400.
Where is everybody on this one?
Keep it 400, that's one thing.
I hear 1,400, Lenny, how's things going in the pavement management?
I could use $1 million.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's leave it for the end,
Yeah.
because I
Well,
think when we get to the end, we'll see what's left.
put it in, if it's, put it in now, we come up short on something critical, we
Yeah.
can
That's
adjust
another way to do it.
it. That way her numbers are
You can,
consistent.
great,
we
you
know
start at,
what we say we're off.
either way, you can start at the top. So,
When he needs $1 million,
Bill,
think of it, we're actually giving him.
400,
I'll go with the 400 for now.
all right?
I go with a 5.
We'll go with 4 for now, if we have more, we can come back. So next gen, we know we have to do,
Yeah, no option there.
no option there.
truck, they got 60 in additional appropriation.
Correct,
So they need 140 to make them whole for 200.
correct.
And the board of selectmen gave them one.
Yeah.
You okay with 140, guys?
Makes it whole.
Okay. That one they already got. So GIS, we've been funding at roughly 25,000 a year. In order to keep that project moving, we want to put that back in for this at this point.
That's what the selectmen did.
We 25,000 good number for that.
We're not doing anybody against.
Gotta keep up with technology.
I would go with it.
Well,
We're gonna
really
need some
use it,
fixing.
for sure.
When they print maps, they don't show north
Alright, I
correctly.
hear consensus on 25,000. The reevaluation, I don't know if we have much choice there either.
You gotta have
That's
to.
kind of got it.
Yep, that's a got him. And this one, they already got the vehicle replacement program, they already got that in supplemental appropriation. Board of Education kitchen steam boiler is still broken, they still need it.
It was funded at the board of selectmen level after 2040.
It was. Are we all right with that, guys?
Yep.
That was a priority one for them.
All right, the fire truck. So, can we just talk about this for a sec?
Sure.
So initially, we put in, they asked for 200, they wanted to save over 5 years to get to the million. We put in 100, talking about a potential lease purchase program, 100,000 would give them the ability to start that. The other option was bonding, both of which we presented to the Board of Selectmen and said, we're putting 100 in, but we're really recommending that you bond, or do the lease purchase thing. And we would give them the seed money to start the lease purchase at the 100,000. They did not fund it, and as far as I
They said they
know,
were gonna bond.
it was, has there been a firm decision to bond?
No, because until you get a question or a thought process together, what you want, and then you gotta go through that whole process. It has not been a formal, I think we're farther out than, I mean, they said they needed the truck in 5 years. So, you have to, when you bond, you have to spend 95% of it, or 85% of it in the first 18 months. So we can't bond too early for something we want to do way in the future. So,
We're not there yet, and I don't think we have the information we need on the vehicle.
Oh, you don't have a
So I
number or
think-
anything else.
I think that will be our next set of bonding, but I'm thinking, if not next spring, the spring after then. So I think it's
Because
farther
I know
out
there
than
were
that.
some concerns about the level of disrepair of that truck, and hopefully it would make it 5 years. So I would hope we wouldn't stretch it out to the end minute, you know, and then have it broken somewhere. I would like to see the town be a little bit more proactive than waiting for it to be sitting in a junk heap, but fine with waiting
I do
and
want to bring it,
reassessing
I
it
do
next
want to bring the
year.
idea of bonding to the Board of Finance. I think we need to go up the bond road. They wanted me to sign off on something that we had some policy. And I said, so when did they pass it? I can't find anything here. Well, I'm not sure they did. I'm like, okay, I'm not signing something that we didn't pass. So I think we need to start the whole process. I think it's probably been a long time since we went out for it. And if we're going to do something, we need to do that first. That's like step one in the process before you start writing resolutions for the Board of Selectmen to pass. And we have to figure out what we're doing. If we're doing roads, we have that same crunch that it's 18 months, and we have to spend the bulk of it. And if they're already doing a bunch of other projects that are still out there, we still have a lot of allocated money in projects sitting out there. That there's only so many of them to do so much work.
So what needs to happen is we need to develop a plan
Right.
to do bonding for roads and bonding for traffic.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're even working on specs yet,
The whole
or,
line open, or is that not a problem?
no, I don't think
Specs
so.
on the truck and all?
Specs are all done,
He said that they were sent out.
all completed. They went out to three different companies.
So
and got
they're
specs.
out of the gate then so far, so that's good.
Sounds like they're ready.
There's no exceptions coming back on the bid, on the quotes, yeah. No exceptions. So in other words, it's a biddable fire truck, not a one-pierce fire truck. You know, with such and such, yeah, that's, needs to be. For the board of selectmen.
Okay, that's not up here.
So then what do we want to do with that line?
So if they could literally go out and, like, if they, so you're saying their paperwork is,
Paperwork's over.
so they can, that the specs, that they can put that out for bid, so it's ready to go out for bid now.
You know, it's the financial planning from here.
Right.
But you don't look at a year and a half away.
Right, right.
What,
If
for
it takes
the,
that long to build a truck.
you know, it'll take you from the day you order the, open the bids and order the truck.
Yeah,
It's
but you
like
can't
year
order
and
a
half.
truck until we've had a town meeting that approved that money.
Correct.
That's right. Just saying the whole bond.
That's
So
true.
do we zero the line, is that the question?
That's the question is, do we put anything in this line or do we let it all fall out to bonding?
I say let it go on bond.
Do you think there's consensus on the board of the selectmen?
Absolutely.
I would say we
So
can-
you don't think it's gonna stall at your end when it
No.
needs to be bonded?
In fact, the bonding is, Amy said probably won't get till next spring, so that'll be the soonest we go out to bonding.
Okay.
Charlie's got it, maybe, people know early, the bond.
It's about public participation time. Go ahead.
Regarding whether you bonded or the lease purchase, it's my understanding that almost all fire trucks today are on a lease purchase. So that's something that maybe they can get some type of an initial quote to do that because they know what the interest rate is there compared to the bond rate. So you ought to have a directional on that, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be cheaper, to bond it, because our interest rate with the GO bonds is gonna be much cheaper than a lease purchase, and we don't have to do that. I think people do it because it's easier. You can get into a lease and have less payments, but you're paying over a longer period of time usually
No, I
too,
understand.
They gotta make a
But
profit.
you're paying interest on
Right.
that. Yeah.
at a higher rate.
I don't know what their rate is,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if it is supplemented by the, you know, the maker of the truck,
No,
you know, they support some of it,
yeah, no,
like the automobile manufacturers do.
yeah.
I'm a fire truck.
What you need is
So Rebecca, we're
Okay,
talking
good.
fire truck is
You
bonded.
want that cabin 2 inches bigger than standard, you pay
Okay.
$200.
All right, financial software. Well, I can tell you that ours has officially lapsed. We are the Board of Education software is no longer supported as of June 30th. No, it's always been June 30th. Ooh. So if something happens to the Board of Education software, we're in a world of hurt pretty fast.
It was funded by the Board of Selectmen at one point.
Is this number still good, or is there gonna be a price difference because we've sat on it for a year?
There should not be.
Is this gonna be compatible?
Are we
with yours?
okay with that?
That's what I'm getting. It's my new
That's
software.
the question, if it isn't compatible.
Oh,
I
it's
think
all
we
one
should
software.
zero it.
No,
It's all one software,
All one
has to cover
software.
both sides.
That's fine then.
Yes.
Because it's been a problem for years.
Right, well, that's the point of doing the
If
units
you're
for
fine with
both.
it, then
So we're all good with that?
Yep.
Okay. The next one down, let me just double check these, that was fully funded, that was fully funded. Dog pound repairs is next,
And that was not because they were looking to sell them, so that was
Right.
not funded by the,
and I don't know whether a final decision has been made on the South Windsor versus this or not.
No, it's still being,
Still being reviewed, so
and currently we are using the dog pound. We have now.
why don't we skip this one and see where we are at the bottom of the list and then decide to come back to it. See what we can do. We did not fund that the first time around. That one's fully funded. All right, we have $13,825 left, folks.
that ain't going far.
Well, the dog pound.
But what do you, have we been through all the priority one
These,
stuff?
okay, so these are all, so here's all of our repetitive projects are all funded with the exception of Public Works not getting their full 500, well, of course they asked for a million, but not getting their initial 500,000 that we gave them. So we could add the balance to him.
13 grand?
We have 15 grand left. So in the dog pound line, we could like take a look at other projects that didn't get allocation.
put it in the management.
Oh,
Bring it up to
pavement
you.
management, pavement management.
Pavement, yeah.
I was like, you can't pay salary with CIP. What are you talking about? That's a rule.
Management, yeah.
No bonuses, Mr. Bader. Gotcha. So, I don't, you guys want to take a look at the rest of this before you make that decision? Totally, I mean, you can look down your list and see what did not have funding from the last, from when we closed our last meeting. There's a parking lot at the middle school, there's carpet at the high school, there's,
Did exterior lighting get funded?
it did significantly, even more than they asked for. The exterior lighting.
Yeah, we did 50,000.
Yep,
What they asked for?
40. Well, that was
Oh, no, that was
40.
an additional
recurring.
appropriation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was an
That's
additional
what we can't
appropriation.
take out.
Yep.
So you already took it out of there.
Oh, yeah, it's already 0 on our list. So we have sidewalk repairs, playground replacements, Scout Hall's HVAC unit.
I want to do mine, town hall, air conditioning.
Wait a minute, that's gonna take the whole CIP budget.
Yeah, we're
No,
not,
we just put in the amount we got left over, the $900.
I thought
I would
they,
rather give it to Lenny before I'm not gonna get paid for one way or the other. So,
It is, huh?
yeah. Well,
Well,
if
that's
and
what
when
I
they
mean.
ever figure out how to fix it,
You can
it's,
put it in the dog pound, and then whatever decision is made in the dog pound, you can either pay a couple of years of South Dakota or.
Not on a CIP, you can't.
No, no,
If it goes into CIP, it has to stay in CIP,
Yeah.
so we could
Well,
close it and reallocate it somewhere
I
else.
was gonna say, if it went into the dog pound and then it was not needed for the dog pound.
Now it has to
we
be
can-
closed and reallocated.
And be closed to reallocated, but it can be closed to reallocated.
Yes.
So, there's that.
the South Road sewer with the.
That's
added
fully
one
funded,
over
yeah.
there, so that's fully.
Yep, that's fully funded.
That's good.
Hey,
That's a-
you know, if you got 13 grand you want to get rid of, you
No,
could put it in the South Road sewer because we may be a little under budgeted on that with current prices.
Okay.
That, actually, I wish Paul were here today, because I believe you were correctly, Paul could probably speak.
So you think we're the 94 or whatever we
Well, that's a good
allocated may
idea.
not cut it?
Yeah.
Why not?
I would,
If they don't use it,
They don't use
So
it, then we
be
can.
it.
When it gets done,
Oh,
we
we'll
can-
use it.
I'm afraid you will.
It'll be used there.
It'll
I'm
definitely
thinking I may
used,
be
and you may
paying
need
a
more, right?
little out of my pocket too for that, but I think if you got 13, I'd put it in there, because I think we're gonna need it.
13, 8,
Makes
25.
sense. Things are, work's getting a lot better, people are getting busier.
did WPCA give you a number on that?
They gave us a 94.
They gave us, well, actually, they gave us a little less than the 94, and I bumped it for some other repairs, but it's just, you know, it's been a couple years now,
Yeah,
and
since they.
Yeah.
They're gonna line the inside.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
aware.
they
Yeah, that's a wild thing to do.
there's
Well, that-
there's
I
probably
put it
more
in there.
laterals we're gonna have
We're
to deal
not
with,
zero,
you know, and it's
They gotta take
a
few of the bad
nightmare.
spots and-
I know.
We need to get rid of it.
So I put the 13,825 into the South Road sewer line.
I would say that's a good idea.
Right, right,
Is everybody comfortable with that? Thank you, Lenny.
I'd have to put
Good
the
suggestion.
compound in there.
So, this is our bottom line list. I'll let you guys, I'll leave it in the top section for a minute, let you look through and let me know when you want to move down to the bottom section and.
So basically, everything on the top got funded except $100,000 into the public road spending management of what we originally funded.
Yes. That is correct. Yeah, the whole top half got fully funded except for $100,000 for pavement management. So if we look at the second half.
And that's the fire truck.
The fire truck did not get funded.
Dog pound.
Dog pound did not get budget.
be a current number?
Oh, no, there's an operating cost.
I'm
It'll
sure,
be a-
yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the one-time data conversion, buying
That's
the
not like
software.
all these software that's.
No, it's not a lease payment. There is regular operating
Yeah.
cost, but
Yeah, there's gonna be licensing fees, I'm sure. So, everything else that we allocated got funded. Except for the fire truck, Lenny's 100,000. And the dog pound.
so that additional appropriation is a great idea.
Yes, the additional appropriation was huge.
Keep that fund balance up and do it again.
Not seeing that.
Be a tightwad with your management a little bit, Bob.
We won't get into the charter revision discussion here.
Which I
So,
think we just
We
did.
should vote. We should approve this and then recommend it to the select.
if someone would like to make a motion that we recommend this list to the Board of Selectmen,
I will approve the list as presented.
so Bob made the motion.
And recommend it to the board of selectmen also.
Okay, so the motion is to recommend the list as listed
And they
to
can
the
do
Board
what
of
they want.
Selectmen. Dick has seconded that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
We adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:05.
Well done. That didn't take long.
No, it was good.
We shafted away.
Well, it's a lot easier. Less project.
Lenny's at the end of the table.
Like a dark area, what else?
Give me money, I